can find some use of it.
Century. Fight!
Alright, so here we go. Round 1. So first off, when I look at a matchup, I try to envision my tools, my opponent's tools, where their best space is, where my best space is, and sometimes their best space is your best space, or at least close to it, so you have to worry about that. In Ken's case, he has I guess a little bit of a space advantage on you in mid screen, but it's not so horrible, and you can discourage him from pressing buttons there, so I'm gonna go over all that. But I guess the first thing I want to look at is the most obvious thing about a matchup is just what can you punish on block, especially in a game like Street Fighter, where you have to commit to several things, not everything, but certain things. So the first thing I'm gonna do is just look over stuff that Dudley can punish Ken for doing. And so the obvious stuff that stands out, like let's start out with the big gimmick online, the EX top.
Try this on precise.
Gonna block the rest of the second so I can show you something. So when I say punish, I mean something you can like hit on block, or something like an anti-air or something like that. But in this case, I'm just kind of gonna go over some stuff that you can punish straight on block. So let's see.
Try this on precise.
Alright. So I know many of you have seen Ken do this, and you can usually stuff it out with a crouch fierce.
Try this.
Another option if you're far enough away.
Try this on precise.
Well, that's not it. If you're far enough away, you have this
Try
option.
this on.
Keep it classy. Be mindful of your spacing. Not a lot of good Kens will ever do this, but sometimes they might catch you trying to focus. This is more of an online thing, I guess. It's good to know. And the big punish is if you have Ultra 1 loaded up. This is one of the reasons why I take Ultra 1 for this matchup.
Try this on precise.
If I stop standing up too early, just let them go over your
Try
head.
this on precise. Keep it classy.
And then you can punish landing like this is so fast. The actual EX top 2 is fast, and then so when you do the Ultra 1, you don't have to worry about going under him like you do with like Ryu. So as soon as you see him go over your head, stand up.
Keep it classy.
So that's a punish.
Are you ready? Fight!
A lot of Kens like to use this in neutral. Let me just jump. So sweep is really good. Neutral is fairly quick. Got long range, you know. So Ken sweep isn't that terrible. It's pretty good. Not the best, but it's there. But yeah, since the change in ultra.
Keep it classy.
Oh wow, you can't hit it from max range, but it looks like you can hit it from other ranges.
Keep it classy.
So yeah, you can't hit it at absolute max range, but other than that, you should be able to
Rolling thunder.
But if he's playing a game where he's trying to do it max range, then you stand outside.
Keep it classy.
So there's that. So keep that in mind.
Fight!
Keep it classy.
It's 8 frames, so you have to hit it reversal timing.
Keep it classy.
So keep that in mind. Let him think twice about sweep.
Fight!
The other one. The FADC punish they put in, he's actually less, he's even more punishable if he does the second hit FADC. But yeah, so this is something a lot of people haven't practiced. There you go. It's a 5 frame punish.
Keep it classy.
So that makes Dudley much more scary in this matchup than they used to. But a lot of people don't know this. But Ken can do this and avoid the actual punish. But just in case. Whoops. But yeah, he basically forces you to block the level 1 focus attack and dash back. So he actually avoids punish. I think I did it wrong now. Oh, I think I held it too long. But yeah, you get the idea. Let's see. Make sure before I I think there actually is a gap in there. So I'll take it back. Let me check it real quick before I make that sweeping statement and get somebody to pick up. Alright. Okay, yeah, there's a gap. So yeah, so you can, it's more of a get, it's a bit of a guess.
Too slow. The end.
So yeah, he can't actually block you with that, I don't think. I may be wrong, but it looks like my testing says otherwise.
Shoryuken. Shoryuken. Keep it
So
classy.
you can look out for that. But typically, it's much more of a gambit to
Shoryuken. Keep it classy.
I mean, on people. So there's that. What else is there? That's pretty much it. Star of straight punishes. There's not a lot of stuff he can do on your face that can just like straight get hit for doing. That's just the nature of his character, huh? So let's see. So after this, I want to go for pokes. And yeah, by the way, if anyone came in here, I'm re-recording this because my mic shut off halfway through. So if you hear me just suddenly stop talking, please let me know in the stream chat. So here we go. I'm gonna go over his pokes now and show you what you should be doing in neutral. So the big one, step two. This is driving people crazy, and a lot of kids will go to this tool because of the way it works and how people don't really punish it or don't space it out. So basically, if he does this and you see it, free roundhouse from pretty much really max range. Like his hurt box stays out there forever. Like, and a lot of people don't ever punish this. Like a lot of people try to jump, but the way his moves him forward causes you to whiff a lot, so you'll end up getting thrown. But yeah, fierce the hell out of that. And then you have typical roundhouse, the best counter poke button. These two, 300 damage for him trying to be stupid step kick. So he really has a lot of pressure in this matchup to force you to block it. Otherwise, you can't really throw it out with impunity. But a lot of kids will. And if you want to be really godlike, you stand outside the max spacing and just walk in for a medium kick.
Keep it classy.
We try to hit that combo. So yeah, you just step outside of his range, walk in and medium punch. You actually get a lot more. You get a lot more damage for it than what I just did, but yeah, there's a lot of options on the table to put this and make it back in his pocket. So that's like 360 damage if I did the roundhouses and whatever else. So yeah, step kick. He's forced to make you block it, or he risks a lot of punishment.
The battle has begun. Fight!
Alright. So next up, the Shoto special. Crouch forward. Crouch medium kick, whatever you want to call it. This is the button that drives Dudley players insane, especially. But this is the button that makes people think that Dudley can't win this matchup. But yeah, if you really see it coming, you can just kind of sweep it. But it's depending on your spacing and your timing, it can be kind of unreliable. So you can always step forward first, like right when you see it come out. Step forward, and that increases your chance of hitting it. So, so don't let them get away with this move. Even if you miss sometimes, the fact that you did this and made him guess, that's significant. That's huge. If you can get a Shoto to not use that button, and then you open up your fierce, your forward medium punch, your roundhouse, or you can just walk up, make them block something, walk up, throw them, whatever. Or sometimes they'll go to jabs, so you can just walk up, or fierce them out of their jabs or whatever. You make them scared to use that button, you get a lot of knowledge. And then there's the classic, just walk in behind it. You may not always hit them, but with Dudley's walk speed, whether you hit him or not, you can usually just make him block. And then you can start pressure however you want to. I think you can actually hit him. That's how good Dudley's walk speed is. in this hitbox, but it's kind of difficult to do. Only for the godlike. So when you reach level 10, then you can do stuff like that. I think with Akuma, with his recovery, you can do it much easier. But anyways, so that's how you defeat those two moves. So for step kick, you can use this, or you can use this. But this is most reliable and works at many ranges. This gets you more damage, more positioning, and mix up. And as far as this goes, for medium crouch medium kick, just sweep it with your own crouch medium kick. Usually try to step forward, even if it's just a small stutter, to increase the chances of hitting it. You can also kind of walk forward around this if you're bold enough. It works, but again, you gotta have really good spacing for that. If you're hanging in here, that means you made them stop thinking about step kick. But yeah, all the stuff I'm saying, it works mid-screen in the corner, but in the corner it's a lot easier because you can position yourself much more freely. So more of your options open up as opposed to mid-screen. Like this is much easier to space in the corner, but yeah, you go to tool always good. Let's see, this other poke.
Are you ready? Fight!
This would be the sweep. This is a really good button, like I was saying earlier, with the block stun and ultering it. Sometimes he's just gonna try to hit you with it, but he whiffs a lot of the time. If you don't have Ultra 1, you still want to hit him. First and foremost, crouch force trick still works. Like, yeah, Dudley's really fast. He's really fast, and that button has deceptive reach on it. And plus, they sped it up in Ultra. So yeah, this is a lot easier now. Like people who say Dudley is not a footsie character, they don't know about this stuff. But you gotta space it out. I'm walking in. So yeah, I gotta actually let the sweep come out and then react to it to show what I'm talking about. Faster. But yeah, it's actually harder to do. Like all this is not really easy, but it's doable. Let me stop doing that. It's doable. And at the very least, the fact that you're going for it means he has to think about the buttons he's pressing. A lot of kids don't think about the buttons they're pressing. And if you can get them, and if you're far out, EX duck. That's my go-to poke from far out range. Sometimes you gotta let hold it a bit. Yeah. It's a little hard on the show those sweeps because they're kind of low profile, but you can do it. Just sometimes you gotta don't do it always. You can't always do it instantly, but if you're far out, you gotta kind of let it travel a bit and not do the kick button like an idiot. But sometimes you can just use it for positioning. Like if you don't think you're gonna hit them, just duck in, start the pressure. So this is something to consider for sweep. Something else you can do with sweep. I think you can walk in and fierce. Yeah, just walk in after. The same concept with the crouch forward. So if you gotta walk a little bit further, be a little bit bolder. And you kind of have to be a little bit more in anticipation. So like you're walking back, he's gonna sweep here. You're walking back and forth and you're thinking he's gonna sweep here. So you walk in, walk back, and hit him. It's a little hard to show, but there you go, something like that. That's easy to do in the corner.
It's the battle of the century.
And it is mid-screen. Might be able to forward it. Nope. Walk in. Yeah, see, I'm kind of walking in anticipation, which is something that you have to kind of do with footsies and neutral. You have to kind of anticipate stuff. You can't always purely react. Like something like that. There you go. A little more consistent. It's just harder to do in the heat of battle, and your positioning may not always be ideal, so you have to learn your spacing so you can do this kind of thing more consistently than I'm doing it. I guess another poke, I mean the obvious poke that he can do,
it's the battle of the century. Fight!
Is fireball. It's not the best fireball in the game. It's actually kind of one of the worst depending on what you want to do with it. But against Dudley, it's something that you have to be really careful about doing. But I'm pretty sure you know how to deal with this already. So yeah.
Hadouken! Keep it
There's so many
classy!
options you can do to actually with that. So, and if you play Dudley enough, you know what the score is on that. There's Ultra 1, Ultra 1 through it, etc. etc. So, another good poke where he might use, like, it's really hard for Ken to use this poke, but it's there. It's long range, kind of moving forward a little bit. So it's on the table if he wants to deal with you with a more active frame move. When it has range, it's a pretty decent mid poke. Not the best, but against characters like Dudley, you can with it. Plus, you see how long the recovery's out there, so he has to really make you block it. So yeah, so Dudley, this is the MVP. This move right here is MVP. But this move right here, not so bad either. So I can basically whiff punish him with anything. So yeah, most skins probably won't throw this out. It's a very specific move, but it has its uses. So
Keep it classy!
you know, look at it anyway. Don't ever go, well, he's not going to use that move.
Keep it classy!
Stuff like that. But he might surprise you at the last minute when you're walking in trying to hit him, and then next thing you know, you got no health, and this happens. You get hit by it. So you know, always be mindful. See, take a look at any of his other pokes. You can just fierce this. Same with this, you can fierce it. So, fierce that. Actually, you might have to medium punch that. Let me try. So, standing forward. You can probably fierce it. Depends on how low the hitbox is. So, let's check it out. Yeah, this is the button you're gonna really be going to a lot in this matchup. It might be too fast for fierce. Yeah.
Machine gun blow!
So yeah, crouch and medium punch is probably better for this move, but you rarely see it.
Machine gun blow!
But you, like I said, even if you rarely see it, oh, there's fierce. So fierce works fine. Yep, but it has a good hitbox from far out. Huh, interesting. But yeah, there you go. So that's how you handle most of his pokes. So let me show you what all this ultimately means.
The battle has begun. Fight!
Oh, let me put it in standby. Okay, so I just showed you how to deal with all those pokes. And ultimately, this is the one he's going to be thinking about right here. And so, if he wants to hit you, he wants to hover right around here where you'll have to block his step kick. And once he makes you block his step kick, you have to deal with kind of the DP mix-up. Even though it's sort of in your favor because he's -2, it's something you have to deal with. But the fact that you're here and you have to think about blocking it means you got to think about what buttons you can press. Because this has a long startup. Not a long startup, but long enough to get stuff out of his startup frames. It just hangs out there enough to compensate for it. And so, what you want to do is get him in the mindset of, I don't want to do step kick until I'm in range. And then you play with that range. And sometimes you might step up, and then that might incite him to do low forward, so you might walk back in and do the sweep thing I told you about. So at that point, you have him wary of pressing buttons. Or at the very least, you won't press buttons outside of the range where they'll hit very often, unless he's like not really thinking about what he's pressing, which is something you encounter online. But typically, you can walk in and stuff pretty much anything he does with this number right here, crouch forward, step kick. So once you get him in the mood to start pressing buttons again by baiting him enough, walk in and get a counter hit. And that converts into roundhouse, and from far out, you gotta do stand fierce. So that's how that ultimately works out in neutral. So I pretty much, and the other aspect of neutral is jumping. So so while he's trying to get you to think about stuff like this and stuff like this, stuff like this, stuff like this, you're gonna have it in your mind you're gonna have it in your mind that you're looking for those buttons so hard on the ground. He's gonna just do this number right here because it's hard for people to typically pay attention to the ground in the air at the same time. So what you want to do is find the distances where his jumps whiff, where they hit you at the tip, and where they'll cross you up.
The battle has begun.
So you can play around with this, but I think Ken pretty much loses across the board to crouch roundhouse if you do it early enough. So there's jump fierce. because this is a really good normal for Shotos without not a Kuma and Ryu, because they have God that hits deep enough to hit you out of this. But I think the only thing he can really go to realistically is jump short or jump light kick, whatever you want to call it. I think that the only thing he has that hits deep enough. Maybe jump jab. I don't know. We'll see. But at the end of the day, even if they do, you have this number. You have the money and the air. You have to space out. Gives you a juggle, but it doesn't have any invincibility. But the thing is, if it doesn't trade on the ground, or if it doesn't get stuffed like that, let's say you hit it, or he hits it while you're in the air, you get a free juggle. But yeah, and look, he loses like 350 damage because he jumped at you. As soon as you got some meter. But see, then jump roundhouse. Let me hit a little bit deeper. There's the trade I was talking about. So keep that in mind. But he should lose to the crouch roundhouse too. Nope, it's deep enough. Depending on the space. Yeah, so okay, it looks like I lied. It looks like it hits deep enough. So you have to pay attention to whether he's doing early or late anti-airs. If he's doing late anti-airs, he's just gonna get beat out of anything anyway. Pretty much do any normal on him. But yeah, this is the anti-air I recommend if you can hit it. Because you get so much. You don't get always a lot of damage, but you get positioning. You get stun build up, EX ducking.
Machine gun block.
You see, knock him right in the corner from mid-screen. Jump at you. Now he has to deal with the crap. Congratulations, you're in the fuck up. So yeah, pay attention and look at the jump spacing, the timing to see what you typically want to go to, and watch where he's jumping from.
Who will emerge a champion? Fight!
So what else should I go over? Common pressure strings. I don't know many with Ken. They're usually, and then it's a well, jab jab. Fucking cars, huh? Should be in my blood.
It's
Typically
the
his
century. Fight!
some of his basic strings, like I said, include jab jab, car throw. If I can do it, but so what you want to do is look for patterns in it, and maybe do instead of trying to force the tech. That wasn't a car throw, by the way, but I'm just trying to show you. You can do short swing blow, throw invincible on the way out and the way back in. So you can just make that decision sometimes. And then if you have red focus, you get that. So you, at the very least, you make him think about what car focus really means. I mean, what car throw really means. Because sometimes you might get stuffed out of it, but just the fact that he has to think about it. Again, you want them to think about stuff, second guess themselves, so you can take initiative on them. But that's an example. Another common one, which is mostly online, but I've seen it offline enough. Move up. So crouch. So step kick into crouch forward. Classic. If I can hit it with the decent timing. So depending on where he spaces out the step kick, he's very vulnerable. I would suggest jab, medium punch, because you can do stuff like that. Because the jab will counter hit him almost every time, but he's just too far out to hit the roundhouse usually. Depends on how close. And like, yeah, you see those trades? Those are because I'm missing my timing for my jab. So he's actually still hitting on the same frame and doing those trades. I don't know if you can see. Let me check. So yeah, far range. And then I guess if you want to be really bold, just DP. and hit him out of the startup because heavy DP is 3 frames. You'll hit him at the startup or you'll trade in your favor. That's if you want to be really cute. So that's basic. Jab, medium punch confirmed because it's so far out. But typically this shouldn't be a problem because you're probably doing this. But sometimes you block a step kick and then you get hit by a counter hit because you can't time the button. Like I'm hitting crouch medium punch, which is 5 frames. But that's the safe bet. So yeah. So go through whenever you get hit by some pressure. Yeah, that's very meaty. Or very active. Whatever you call it.
Keep it classy. Try to counter
So
this.
yeah, Ken's a threat. He has good tools. He has stuff that can aggravate Dudley, but at the end of the day, he's just as vulnerable as you are. If you pay attention and you practice.
Keep it classy.
As far as Oki goes, I'm not really an Oki player, even though I play Dudley. I just kind of eyeball. So, like for example, I don't know why I put it on record, but I'll just show you this. So for Shotos, though for Ken I do it a lot less. So if I knock him down, it's typical. I just do the low throw high. This catches back dashes. This is low. This is high. You can bait with blocking, backdash, and then you gotta be. There's another bait you can use for Shotos, though for Ken it's a lot harder because he has Fierce DP, which has a lot of forward range. Is short swing blow. Short swing blow will cause it to the DP to whiff without giving up his spacing. So you can get like you can force him to block. You can also beat the wake up throws that sometimes people do, and I forgot to mention that as an option. Because sometimes people wake up with focus attack, so you can throw them. Although there's the 4 button option select, but thanks to red focus, that's out if you have 2 bars or more. But typically, you want to remember that this option exists. A lot of Dudley players. Oh crap! My down inputs died. There we go. I have to get a new stick, but yeah, a lot of Dudleys forget this is an option on wake up. This is something you can do to. And for most characters, you can just safe jump them, but Ken has a 3 frame DP, so if you try to hit him with a meaty normal, you're gonna get hit out of your trip card. I'm pretty sure there are jump setups where you can make them bait. Where you can bait the DP out, but those aren't really safe jumps. Those aren't guaranteed pressure that he has to deal with. So yeah, I could go over a bunch of Dudley stuff that I'm sure you know already. So that's about it. Yeah, I guess I could go over some stuff that can't do with Dudley, but I pretty much went over all of it anyway, in the sense of what you need to know of what button to throw, how you can deal with it. Because if you know how Dudley's buttons work in general, then I don't need to tell you about how you can preemptively do stuff like this and this. This is a decent tool, but if you use it wrong, you get messed up. This is a good poke. So you know whatever you do with Dudley. Now you know how to typically deal with him in certain situations. I guess the other thing I can go over is Ken's Oki, but I think that's going over too deep, and I'd have to actually prepare for that ahead of time. So when I start making my matchup videos, like the in-depth ones that go over everything, like their options and your options and everything, it'll be much longer videos. And I'll try to include characters' Okis and your options to get out of them, and their options to get out of yours. So you can make more informed decisions about what choice to make in each situation. But for now, this is pretty much it. If you have any questions, just post them up, and I'll see what I can do. I'm not an expert, but this is just my analysis of how the matchup works, and it's not really so bad. Alright, later.